Well, this devastating 8-alarm fire in Overland Park destroyed a pair of Overland Park apartment buildings and spread to several homes. 41 Action News reporter Sarah Flake just spoke with investigators. And Sarah, tell us what they had to say.
Yeah, good morning, Cynthia. We still didn't get any official confirmation as to how this fire started. They said that they've got their theories but aren't willing to release that information until they can officially confirm. We saw how windy and dry it was yesterday. So right now, ATF investigators, fire investigators are talking to residents and also picking through this crime scene. This scene. They word it as a crime scene. That's just the vernacular they use. Next, engineers will step in to decide if this building still standing needs to come down or not. 22 structures damaged, including the 2 apartment buildings, 1 burned to the ground. Right now, investigators are still working on those leads, talking with those construction workers that were inside the building at the time. There were reports of an explosion, but the fire chief, Daner, said that it happened because of the fire, not necessarily the cause. And the fact that the buildings were under construction definitely played a factor.
For the residential area, that is an active crime scene. Those that live in the area and have reason to be in that area are allowed to be in that area. The folks that are involved or their homes have been damaged, we are working with them on a case-by-case basis to make sure that we can get them in there, get their essentials, checkbooks, car keys, wallets, those types of things, get that secured, and then make sure, again, their insurance companies are starting the ball rolling.
So we also heard from him that the fire happened at the most vulnerable stage of construction. I mean, there were people in there, finishing up work, and so a lot of materials inside a construction site that are very flammable as well. So right now, an active perimeter is set up. You heard if you're not a resident, you won't be able to get in there. The perimeter is from Indian Creek Parkway down to 119th Street. So keep that in mind. And we will have continuing coverage. Let's go ahead and send it on over to Jane Monreal.
Thank you, Sarah. Every once in a while, the gust picks up so that we can smell the smoke, a reminder of yesterday and what happened to homes like those yesterday, like the home behind me. We are hearing some of the stories of the homeowners who lost part of their home or all of their home. Some people couldn't even change their clothes since yesterday. A lot of those people are still gathered at the Lutheran Christ Church. And I talked to one man who believes his home is at a complete loss. All he wanted to do was go back to his house and retrieve a hard drive from the basement that had his family's pictures and videos. Another man, Phil McPherson, he told me he remembers that he looked out the window, could see the flames through his neighbor's windows. Next thing he knew, those flames hit his home.
Milling around the house, and I'd been to the gym and worked out, and then I was getting ready to shower up stuff, and I just smelled something, and it's like, this is not a normal smell. The fires were out enough that the 3 firemen went in the house, and in about 10 minutes he came walking out with the other cat. We were so happy.
Just happy to have his cats. I should also mention that he at one point was on his roof trying to hose it down, and because it was so slick, those wood shingles, he fell off the roof. He's actually okay. Now, only people with proof of residency are allowed in the subdivision off Neiman and 115th. Also, those victims at the church, they're going through their investigations with fire investigators. They will then be personally escorted to their home sometime today. Live in Overland Park, Jane Monreal, 41 Action News.